It's time to get schooled by the teen sensation of true crime.
Here's our resident boy genius with this week's Sidebar.
Hi, my name is Ryan Kester. I'm an 18-year-old pre-law junior at the University of Texas at Dallas, and ever since I was 9 years old, I've been researching cases, poring over police files, and investigating as many trials as I can, all in the name of true crime. On today's episode of Sidebar, we're going to be discussing a topic that has been popping up a lot in true crime recently, which is no-body murder cases. When we think of a no-body murder case, we tend to think of a case like the Lane case, where the prosecution is presenting a dramatic chain of events that they say proves beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant murdered somebody, despite the fact that they are unable to find any actual evidence of the murder taking place. But most no-body cases are not like the Lane case. What comes to mind is this case of Lisha Hamilton out of Lubbock, Texas. Back in the mid-90s, she was convicted and sentenced to prison for 20 years for the murder of her live-in boyfriend. The prosecution contended that her and a co-defendant, a neighbor, had beat Scott to death in his room in the middle of the night. They didn't find his body until well after Lisha was released from prison, and by that point, of course, she had already been prosecuted and convicted. So how they were able to secure the conviction was they were able to analyze the blood stains in his bedroom. There was a significant amount of pooling, and they were able to determine the exact volume and quantity of blood that was needed to make all of this stain. And essentially, they had a forensic expert come in and say, blood is connective tissue, so in a way, we do have the body, and there is so much blood here that it's virtually impossible for this person to be alive. They are dead. Now, of course, that's dependent upon DNA matching, but these are, in a way, called no-body cases despite the fact that there is evidence of human remains. It's just not a complete body in the sense of the word. So the Lane case stands out to me in that there was no evidence of human remains recovered whatsoever. All you have was cadaver dogs, which, as we know, are not an exact science, nowhere near one, not in the way that even simple physics and chemistry for blood and blood analysis is. You're talking a major conviction, a major crime without any evidence of human remains whatsoever. And that is definitely disturbing and not at all the norm for a no-body murder case. All of that being said, I have to get back to economics because I am very, very terrified of my exam. So I will see you guys next week on the next episode of Sidebar.